Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Biomutant. Today I just want to give you a few little tips and tricks within the game when you're getting started on what to do and things that you should be looking out for in the game. So if this helps you, hit the like button. It helps my channel get out to more people. Leave a comment down below, tell me what class you are starting with. Hit the notification bell after you subscribe, because then you'll get notifications for when videos on Biomutant goes live and when my live streams when I'm playing Biomutant go live also. First and foremost, I just want to say, as kind of like a bonus tip, it's not really a massive huge tip as the other things I'm going to talk about, but don't walk or stray too far away from a fight, and more specifically from a boss, because when you get into a fight with a group of enemies or a boss, there is kind of like an arena around where you are. And if you go outside that arena, the enemies will either just leave you and run away back to their spawning point, or they will just instantly get their health back. You could step outside of that arena for less than 5 seconds and they will have their whole health bar. So when you're in the middle of a fight, just be aware of how far you can move away from an enemy, especially for a boss. So early on in the game, you are going to run into bio points. Now you get these various ways throughout the game. You can open bio containers, you can kill enemies that are just bio infused, and later on in the game you'll get to some biohazard areas where these things are more apparent more often. Now, at the very start of the game, I would highly suggest building into resistances. Now, resistances in this game are going to be useful because when you get to certain areas, you're going to be just locked out from being able to get in there because your resistances aren't high enough for each individual thing that needs resistance against. So heat, cold, radioactive, biohazard, and oxygen. You know, there's a lot of other things. Now, there will be quests in the game to unlock specific suits to protect you against these things, but what you want to do is start building your resistances as early as possible. There are a lot of great abilities to try out too. If you want to spend your bio points there, please do, but just make sure you're keeping an eye on those resistances, because when you do get those suits, each individual piece of the suit gives you, I don't know, like 20% resistance. So if you have your resistances at 80%, by the time you need one of those suits, you only need to put on one of the pieces of armor to be able to get 100% resistance, and that means then all your other armors and gear can remain at what you have now in terms of armor and damage and power and such things like that. So just keep in the back of your mind that resistances are important. Throughout the game, you will find various critters to collect. After you do a little bit of the intro story, you'll be given a net, and the net is used to capture animals. Now, there's little foxes running around. There's these little weird fluff balls that run around there. Throughout the game, you will see them. If you run up to them and press Y, you will swipe your net and you will catch them. Now, what they will do here is they will give you a choice on whether to keep the creature, pet and keep the creature, or kill the creature. Now, the top choice is just, you know, a neutral choice, but if you choose to pet and keep the creature, you'll get +1 light points. If you determine that you want to kill the creature, you will get +1 dark point. Now, points are very important, because the more points you have in light or dark decides what path you've taken, but also opens certain abilities to you, because you need a certain amount of dark or light points to be able to buy some of the side powers. So the more of these that you find and kill or pet, you will get faster light and dark points, which makes getting those side powers a little bit easier. Throughout this game, you will find various things in the wild. Some of the most important things you should look out for are scrap towers. They're basically a tower of rubble, and you go over there and you hit them and you smash them and they fall down, and then you get materials that you can use to craft. Now, each and every single material has their own towers scattered around the entire world. They are everywhere, so make sure you're keeping an eye out for them, because materials are going to be used quite often. And even though you can dismantle armors and weapons to be able to get those materials, having these just around the world as you're running around, very helpful. So money in this game, or green, is used to buy things from shops. Shock horror, I know, but there's various ranged parts and melee parts and things that are miscellaneous that you can buy. There's mounts that you can buy too, so green is relatively important, and you're going to get this as you're going through the game anyway, naturally, but there are things within the world that you can go and collect. It's basically like a round circle kind of twig that connects all the way around, and then in between it there's like a little green leaf, so you want to jump through it, collect the green leaf, and carry on about your day, and you'll get a little bit of money towards it. These are also scattered all over the world. And even though there's a few things to look out for, one of the most important is the psi point podiums. I don't know what you call them, shrines, maybe psi shrines. And basically these little kind of triangle TP huts that are scattered around the world. You run up to them, you interact with them, and they will give you 1 psi point, and there's a lot of them, so make sure you're looking out for them as you're running around as well. And last but not least, I just want to talk a little bit about exploration. You know, a lot of people, they go on the main quest line. Now, there are a few multiple main quest lines to go and chase and do, but there are an incredible amount of exploration advantages. You get a load of side quests from talking to literally every NPC. They will give you a side quest to go and do. And interacting with certain NPCs will give you some interesting dialogue. So exploring and going around the world, talking to NPCs is super, super fun and super important to the longevity of this game. And exploration will also bring you gear in every single area of this game, whether it's one little tiny house or a whole city to search. There are tons of containers to open, of lockers to open, of just card bloody boots to open, or trunks if you're American. There are so many things that you can open and get rewards from. You will get an endless strew of legendary gear, of rare gear, of just every type of gear you can think of. So running around and checking absolutely everything is necessary in this game. And if you're a collector, this game is going to just hit you in all the right spots, because there is just so much to go and do and look at and run around. It's awesome. And I think the last little tip that I want to show off, because I didn't really realize this myself until when I was making this video, someone told me about it, but you can actually change the time of day. Now, in various places you will find a little bonfire. It could be in the middle of a city where there's loads of enemies, and after you kill the enemies you can access it. They're in certain towns and kind of inns and stuff. If you go and sit at the fire, you can change from daytime to nighttime. Now, I'm not sure what the significance is there, but there's a few side quests that you need to do in the daytime, like there's something tied to a sundial, and obviously you need the sun for that. So there is an easy, quick way to actually change the time of day if that's what you need or want to do. And you know, that is a hell of a lot of things in this game already, and I'm only touching the tip of tips if that makes sense. You know, there's so many tips and tricks that can be added to this video, but I didn't want to overwhelm people, and this is kind of just like a starter guide for you to just look at as you're running around the game, and just an introduction to the game. So again, if it helped, hit the like button, comment, tell me what your class is down below, and all that good stuff. Thank you for watching. I've been easynow. You guys have been awesome.